President, I rise today to join my colleagues in honoring all those who have continued to work in service to our nation during the COVID-19 pandemic. My home state and our nation are blessed with dedicated citizens who have continued striving to keep essential operations going amidst the challenges that we face. While there are many sectors that deserve recognition and will be mentioned by my colleagues, notably healthcare workers, teachers, post office employees, grocery store workers, law enforcement, of course, many, many others. But I want to focus for just a minute on the critical efforts of our agricultural producers, our farmers and ranchers and so many others. Maintaining the food supply chain during this public health emergency is essential, absolutely essential. As we combat coronavirus, our farmers and our ranchers have continued to provide the food, feed, fuel, and fiber that we need. Americans truly benefit every single day from the highest quality, lowest cost food supply in the world, thanks to our producers, our farmers, and our ranchers. But as operations across the country are impacted, food security has been a particular concern. We greatly appreciate the efforts of those working to keep food on our tables, from our producers to the workers. So it's not only the ranchers, our farmers and ranchers, but it's also the workers at the ag processing facilities. And we know that there are real challenges there. We've heard about them. But we appreciate so much all those workers at the processing facilities so that we can get that food from the farmer or the rancher to ultimately the consumer. And that's why, as chair of the Senate Ag Appropriations Committee, I worked to secure nearly $25 billion in funding to help our farmers and ranchers, to keep them going. They have faced incredible challenges, not only low prices, the difficulty in trade negotiations, really tough weather. And so for our producers, they've been facing real challenges for some time now, and then with this COVID-19 pandemic on top of it, it has made it very tough for them. And they've hung in there, and they've continued to do what they do best, which is produce our food supply. And so they've truly stepped up during this emergency, and I think they need to be recognized for it and thanked for it. Just a couple of weeks ago, I'd also like to add that just a couple of weeks ago, R.D. Hoeven Farms, one of our nation's premier potato growers and based in Fargo, North Dakota, donated 37,000 pounds of frozen potato products to the Great Plains Food Banks. We grow a lot of potatoes in North Dakota, particularly in the Red River Valley. Hoeven Farms, large producer, and they donated 37,000 pounds of frozen potatoes to the Great Plains Food Bank. Another example, North Dakota Stockmen's Association and their foundation donated $20,000 to enable the same food bank, the Great Plains Food Bank, to purchase beef from North Dakota ranchers. One of the big challenges we've had out there is our ranchers continue to raise incredible livestock, incredible cattle, finest cattle in the world. And the tough thing is they're getting such a poor price for it, and we've got to figure out how to do better, because at the same time we see prices going up in the grocery store, our cattle producers are not getting compensated for those animals. Their prices have gone down. And we know that it's tough in the processing industry with the coronavirus, but we've got to find ways to make changes now and for the longer term so that our cattlemen are treated fairly and well for what they do, which is raise such a great quality beef product. But again, the Stockmen's, their association stepped up and made donations to the food bank. Another example, North Dakota Farmers Union announced it's teaming up with the Farmers Union Enterprise to donate 30,000 pounds of pork ribs to the Great Plains Food Bank. So again, all examples of our farmers and ranchers not only producing that great food supply, but stepping up and donating as well to help feed people that need it. This generosity immediately benefits individuals and families across the region, and it's helping to replenish the food bank's strained inventory, which serves many, many food pantries, shelters, soup kitchens, and charitable feeding programs. These efforts drive home the message that we're all in this together. Even in the face of tremendous challenges, we find a way to make the best of tough situations and take care of our neighbors, and that's what this is all about. Another farmer sent this message to the nation, taking time to write out in one of his fields. So with his farm equipment, he wrote out in one of his fields We will win the war on COVID-19. And that just demonstrates the kind of spirit of our farmers and ranchers and, of course, the spirit of our people across America. To have this hope and charity, even when our ag producers are working to overcome unprecedented difficulties, is truly inspirational. That's why I come to the floor today to give thanks to our farmers and our ranchers who consistently go above and beyond, not only to feed our nation, but to serve their communities across America. And that's why we continue working with the USDA, the Department of Agriculture, to get vital assistance to our farmers and ranchers. We remain committed to supporting them through this pandemic and the myriad of other challenges they faced, just as they support us every single day. With that, Mr. President, I would like to yield the floor to my esteemed colleague from West Virginia.